Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide videos, and today we're covering Oinkologne, and this one is interesting because it actually has a few pretty cool niches in here that allows it to be able to do some pretty cool things. But what we're going to do first of all is we are going to go through the useful moves on this Pokemon. So we have got Body Press, which actually with base 75 defense is not amazing, but there are definitely ways to increase up your defense, which we'll talk about in a couple of the sets for today. We've got Body Slam, which is a powerful stab attack and also has a 30% chance to paralyze the Pokemon, decreasing down their speed, halving it. Double Edge, powerful normal type attack, but it does have the drawback of you taking recoil. Facade, which is a powerful attack, sorry, I had a bit of a hiccup there. With Facade, which is a powerful normal type attack boosted by stab, and also if you have some kind of ailment like a poison, then obviously it doubles in power. Iron Head, which allows you to cover some of your weaknesses in terms of, for example, rock types, but also just in general is a really good move to use. Play Rough, powerful fairy type attack, again covers a few things and including your fighting type weakness, because you know obviously you want to cover your weaknesses. Seed Bomb, which is a powerful grass type attack, again giving you a bit more coverage. Stomping Tantrum, which covers both rock types and also the steel types, which you cannot hit with a normal type attack. Stuffed Cheeks, which has a really interesting effect, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the Stuffed Cheeks set that I've come up with. Terra Blast, which is a really good opportunity to use just in general for normal type, but if you decide to Terra. And then Trailblaze to increase up your speed. Yawn to try and put something to sleep or force a switch, it has the benefit of both. And then Zen Headbutt for a powerful psychic type attack, which works quite well too. In terms of doubles, typically you've got Protect and Helping Hand. Now Protect obviously is really beneficial in the sense that it lets you not take damage for a turn. Helping Hand allows you to increase up the damage aspect from your ally. Then also you've got things like Bulldoze, which can be very useful as well. In terms of Terra types, I've suggested 3 different Terra types here. One is the Flying type to cover your fighting type weakness. So if you have Terra Blast, you can then use the you can be the Flying type to take the resisted damage from the fighting type moves, and you can also hit quite hard with Terra Blast because that's going to be super effective. Same with the Fairy type, and the justification there, and it allows you to hit a few more different types of super effective damage. That can also combine quite nicely with Play Rough if you turn to the Fairy type, meaning that you don't have to worry about Terra Blast. You've then got the Ghost type as well, which obviously gives you the immunity to fighting types, but it does give you the added weakness of things like Ghost type attacks and also Dark type attacks. So, you know, it's about playing it right with this one, but those are the 3 best options that I typically will see for Oinkologne. Let's move on to the actual set. So first of all, we have got a Choice Band set. I thought Choice Band works quite nicely with this. Base 100 attack, you know, that is a pretty darn good attack stat. Base 110 HP and base 75, 80 in the defenses means that it can definitely sponge up a hit, maybe 2. So, you know, Choice Band can work really, really nicely in conjunction with this Pokemon, increasing up your attack power from 328 to about kind of 480-ish, which is pretty darn high. In terms of ability, for this one I have gone for Lingering Aroma, which means making contact with this Pokemon, their ability becomes Lingering Aroma. A lot of Pokemon have really scary abilities, and if their ability changes, then that can actually cause them to be a lot less scary. You have also got Thick Fat, which you definitely could use in this set, which means that you're going to take half damage from fire and ice type attacks there. So in terms of move, we've got Body Slam, powerful stab attack, has a chance to paralyze. If you paralyze a Pokemon, it halves their speed. Now if their speed is halved, realistically you have more chance of outspeeding them, meaning that you are going to not take the damage from them first. You've got Play Rough, powerful fairy type attack, allows you to hit a few different Pokemon. Iron Head, powerful steel type attack, again allows for good coverage, same with Seed Bomb. So this is typically just a very high coverage set. Obviously you can play your Terra type to suit one of the other moves that you are playing, but that's kind of the idea with this set, is just to cause damage on the opponent's Pokemon. Body Slam is probably going to be the one you click most of the time, just be cautious of things like Ghost types. Moving on to the second Oinkologne, we have got, Oinkologne, I keep on misnaming it, Oinkologne. We've got the Figgy Berry. Now the Figgy Berry allows it to get 33% of its health back when it is at 25% health normally, but we've got Gluttony on here, and Gluttony means that it will eat the berry at 50% health as opposed to 25% health. So that will allow for you to be able to get that health back and not be at such a low point that it is going to be incredibly risky. On here we've got Yawn. Yawn puts the Pokemon in a sleepy status, so the next turn they are still awake and can attack you, but the turn that ends of that turn they will fall asleep. So 1, you get a Pokemon that's gone to sleep, or 2, you have got a Pokemon that is going to switch, which actually can be really beneficial for you. Now in the turn that it can then attack you, I've put Protect on here, so Yawn and then Protect. Protecting will stop you from taking damage that turn, and they will then go to sleep. Obviously there is the risk of them switching out, so you do have to consider how you are playing this and how the opponent is going to be playing this. In terms of body attack moves, we have got Body Slam, powerful normal type attack. You could run things like Double Edge if you wanted to, but that's entirely up to you. And then Play Rough again for that coverage, hitting the fighter type for super effective damage. EV wise, gone for max HP, max special defense with a careful nature, so more special defense, less special attack, and 4 EVs in attack. The idea of this thing is that we're going to be able to put something to sleep and then just keep on attacking it, and we'd hopefully be able to rinse and repeat that as much as we can before we faint. Or you can switch into another Pokemon and then start setting up or things like that. So there are a few different ways you can run around this, but the idea is we get the Pokemon to sleep and then we move on to do something else. Moving on to the third Oinkologne, we have got the Stuffed Cheeks set. Now, Stuffed Cheeks is really fantastic. You need a berry for this, but when the user eats the berry, it increases the defense by 2 stages. Now, with this, you'll get to a +2 state on your defense, which means that you go from 273 to 500 and or just under 550. But I've also put the Ganlon berry on here, which also increases up your defense. So basically they eat the berry. Do they eat the berry? Yeah, they eat the berry, so they get a +3 in their defense. So essentially that's going to be even higher. I mean, you're up to over 600 in your defense stat, which is really, really, really huge. With that, obviously we then have Body Press. Body Press being much more powerful because of your huge defense stat, and you're going to take a lot less damage from the opponent's Pokemon. I have chucked Rest on here because you might want to heal yourself up if you get down low, especially with using things like Double Edge as well. So Rest is definitely a really good opportunity to be able to heal your health up, but I would recommend only bringing this thing in when you have got physical attackers left. If there are any special attackers left, you are putting yourself at a lot of dangerous risk to end up being fainted before you can pull off the strap. So you'd come in, Stuffed Cheeks, get to the +3 in your defense, realistically take a little bit of damage that turn, then the next turn you'd be able to Body Press when you take very, very little damage, and possibly have to rest up at some point, but realistically the Body Press would work really, really nicely. So that is what I'm kind of aiming for here, and I think this would be a really, really fun set to try and run. Moving on to the fourth set, we have got a female Oinkologne. Now, Oinkologne female actually has a slightly different ability. They have a Roma Veil as opposed to the Lingering Aroma, and I think there is a ever so slight difference in the fact that they have a higher special defense stat than they do defense stat. So on here, we have got an Assault Vest. Now, with the Assault Vest, we have got Body Slam, powerful normal type attack, boosted by Stab, obviously, Iron Head, and Play Rough, good coverage moves. And I also went for Endeavour. Now I looked this up, Endeavour is classified as an attacking move instead of a status move, and Assault Vest only stops you from using status moves, so Endeavour should work. I have looked it up, and the kind of result that I suggested that it could happen, so you know, if I'm wrong, do let me know in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure that I'm correct with this from the research that I did. So Endeavour, if you are low on health, you can Endeavour and bring the opponent's Pokemon down to your health as well, which actually can be really helpful to get a revenge kill on something, especially if you're using something like Fell Stinger, because that will give you like a +3 in your attack stat, and you'll just be able to really start to rip through different Pokemon. Now, EV-wise, there are 2 ways I'd recommend running this. Max HP, max attack with an Adamant nature, so more attack with special attack, or max HP, max special defense. I think it's with a careful nature, it might be with a calm nature, but the idea is that plus special defense minus special attack nature. Careful or calm, I can't remember which one, I can never remember the difference between those two. But yeah, the idea here is that you have high HP and then high attack or special defense. It's up to you based on what your team is already looking like. Moving on to the 5th Pokemon, we have got a doubles supporting Pokemon here. I haven't labelled it as doubles, and I haven't put an item on here, but there is definitely the opportunity to run a wide variety of items here. Leftovers, Choppleberry to reduce the damage from fighting type attacks. You could run things like Covert Cloak. You could definitely run kind of any, I think Clear Amulet is also an option to stop your ability being changed. But yeah, you can run any of these kind of abilities here. I'd recommend if you're running a berry, like a figure berry or something, then you can run it with Gluttony. If not, I definitely would recommend going for Thick Fat as your ability. Now in terms of attacking, we have got Bulldoze, which allows you to lower down the speed of the opponent's Pokemon and also your ally in some cases, but that can be pretty easy to do if you have Protect on your ally, and also with lower speed means that you're more likely to outspeed. Helping Hand, which helps your ally to increase up the power of their attack. I've put Body Press on here as well because we've got a high defense stat. Now obviously the male version is going to be better with that because it has a slightly higher defense stat, but I wanted to show the female version as well. And then Protect, which allows you to obviously not take damage at that turn. In terms of EVs, you've got max HP, max defense, Impish Nature, more defense, less special attack. Not really much more to say about that one. And the last one is more of a gimmick set, and this one's really interesting. I put the Figure Berry on here again with Gluttony, but you could put Leftovers or something along those lines on here if you wanted to. Now here we have got Stockpile. You can stockpile 3 times to get +3 in your defense and your special defense. And this would allow for you to be able to use Body Press in the same way you run with the Stuffed Cheeks Ganmonberry, but it's just more setup. Now if you get 1 stockpile, it's +1 in your defense and then your special defense, and then you can use that 3 times. Swallow allows you to be able to recover your health, but it does get rid of your defense increases, so you then have to reset up again, so you have to consider that one, which is why Leftovers might be an alternative item to use. We've then got Body Press, which obviously if you've got increased defenses, meaning you're going to take less damage, which means you're going to live more hits, but also meaning that your Body Press is going to do more damage, hitting really hard on the opponent's Pokemon. And then you've got Iron Head to allow your a little bit more coverage on different Pokemon. You could run Zen Headbutt, or Play Rough, or Seed Bomb, or anything on top of that if you wanted to. EV-wise, I've got max HP, max defense with a Impish Nature, so more defense, less special attack, and 4 EVs in attack. I think this is probably my most fun set for Oinkologne, and I really want to try this out in a couple of different ways. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.